In evolution, the result of offspring is the result of their parents combining their own traits with a random element that can go in any unpredictable direction. A predisposition toward evil is one of those directions. Evil comes in two forms: narcissists and psychopaths. A narcissist is a lesser psychopath. Psychopathy can be bred. A psychopath has a higher chance of reproducing a psychopath because they pass on the predisposition. Reproducing psychopaths can steer a gene pool toward inherent psychopathy, which is what happened in Islam and Zionism. Narcissists are obsessed with themselves. They don't care about anyone else. They will use and manipulate anyone and everyone if it serves personal gain. They don't have a problem with it because they have no morals. Narcissists worship power. They will heavily and obsessively invest in hobbies that will feed their ego and flaunt their perceived power, such as owning the fastest car, the most powerful computer, the most expensive furniture, or the biggest muscles at the gym. They will always compare themselves to others, in a hierarchy competition to be better than everyone else. They will worship the power of those above them, while sabotaging them to get ahead. They will oppress those below them, in an exercise of flaunting their power. Narcissists believe they are the exception to the rule, and should receive special treatment. They don't believe in the same rules for everyone. They will violate the law and every moral standard in order to get ahead, and they do it without the slightest conscience. They believe that the world is their oyster, to plunder and exploit as they see fit. They believe they are automatically better than and above everyone else. But that belief is based purely on self-absorbed fantasy. Should anyone intrude on that fantasy with facts that point out their inferiority, the narcissist will go into a hate-filled rage of envy. Most narcissists don't know they're narcissists. They think they are developmentally and intellectually like everyone else. But they aren't. They are in denial about what they are. They think they're above everyone else, because they are missing a conscience that holds other people back. This is one reason why they think they're superior in all ways. Yet they envy the human connection that normal people have, the very thing they reject within themselves. Narcissists are confused hypocrites who don't know themselves and never self-reflect, because they are extremely shallow and hollow. Narcissists pick up bad habits early in life. These habits control them like a puppet, and they are completely powerless to resist. They never grow up beyond the state of a toddler. They are warped children in adult bodies, with severely stunted personal and intellectual growth. While psychopaths are predominantly born that way, narcissism can corrupt a person over time. If the human mind is a field of crop, morality is cultivated. Morality starts in early childhood. In early childhood, bad decisions can plant weeds in a person's moral compass. But the same thing can happen for adults. Cultivating evil propagates evil. While weeds grown since childhood are the most dominant, weeds can grow even in adulthood. You can corrupt a vulnerable, good-natured person by repeatedly forcing immorality on them and rewarding it. It provokes them, and all they need to do is bite once and they have sown a seed of weeds into their moral compass. And where there are weeds, they grow fast. There is an epidemic of narcissists, because societies throughout the world reward narcissism and punish humility, provoking and cultivating the propagation of weeds. The reason why is because the world has been taken over by psychopaths. Narcissists are predators. They see other people as prey. They focus all their energy on gaining attention that reinforces their self-worship. They need other people to feed their eternally hungry ego. Narcissists are emotional parasites. Narcissists seek parasitic relationships with vulnerable empaths. Empathic people are easy prey for a narcissist. Narcissists are full of rage and envy. They envy the personal connection that everyone else has, and hate them for it with an obsession. Narcissists will believe they are better than everyone else, while knowing they are less than everyone else. They are stuck in a perpetual and desperate reinforcement of their delusion about themselves, where they constantly need others to compliment them. Anything that doesn't reinforce their image of themselves is met with uncontrollable outbursts of rage. Narcissists will attach themselves to cults like the New Age and speak empty words about love, peace and harmony in order to cover up their true colors of rage. They will appear peaceful one moment and quickly explode into rage the next at the slightest criticism. Narcissists have an extremely fragile ego. Narcissists are extreme cowards. Instead of facing pain, suffering and loss as a result of being selfless, they wrap themselves up in a self-absorbed shell where they don't have to suffer ever again. They will never expose themselves to being hurt, yet they have no problem hurting others. And should they get hurt, they will never forgive and hold an eternal grudge. They will never admit to being wrong. Since they choose the soothing emotions of ego over the truth, they will freely lie and manipulate to get what they want. All they care about is how they feel. They indulge a fantasy of self-worship in pursuit of soothing comfort, drowning out the harsh truth with a sweet lullaby. Narcissists are abominations of nature. They are a corruption of human nature. They take their inherent abilities and misuse them in pursuit of primitive emotions. They are a fetish. They never grow into a fully formed person. They are only part of a person, warped and twisted. Everything a narcissist touches is corrupted, vandalized and destroyed. A psychopath, on the other hand, is someone who has advanced much further on the path of evil. Their heart is pure evil. Unlike narcissists, psychopaths don't do what they do out of cowardice, but the pursuit of intense corrupted pleasure. If the human mind is a field of crop and a narcissist is overgrown with weeds, a psychopath is the very intentional cultivation of weeds. Being a psychopath isn't a mental disorder. There is no such thing as a mental disorder. Mental disorders are made up by the pharmaceutical industry to baselessly portray bad choices in life as a biological disease, to justify drugging and controlling people with toxic substances. Psychological problems are an ideological problem, not a biological problem. In the case of a psychopath, there is conveniently no treatment, and you simply have to dismiss their evil nature as a disease that isn't their fault, treating them with pity, tolerance and acceptance instead of outright rejecting them for the evil they are. This is by design, since the pharmaceutical industry and the cult of psychiatry are run by psychopaths who are attempting to justify and excuse their behavior when thought, being sad, depression, is worthy of intense drugging and repeatedly electrocuting the victim in the head. But being intensely evil doesn't require any psychiatric treatment at all. Instead, they demand pity, tolerance and acceptance. If psychopaths are caused by their environment, as many claim, then why is it that psychopaths don't respond to punishment? It's because psychopaths gain intense pleasure from the abuse of power, corrupting the innocent and engaging in all forms of evil. The pleasure they gain far outweighs the negative influence of suffering. Psychopaths pursue pleasure with an absolute lust. All they care about is themselves. They have a deep hatred of everyone else. Psychopaths are born and often bred to be psychopaths. Psychopaths don't need to be constantly reinforced like a narcissist. They are under no illusion that they are pure evil. They know what they are, and they like it. They put on a bigot and pretend to be like everyone else. To avoid detection, most psychopaths get away with a lifetime of heavy abuse and crime. They are masters of deception. You would never know a psychopath if you met one. Psychopaths and narcissists should be publicly named and shamed for what they are: corrupt and evil abominations of nature. When naming and shaming them, expect them to put up intense resistance. They spend all their time lying, scheming and manipulating people. They will already have a plan ready to counterattack anyone who exposes their true colors. They will portray themselves as the victim, and their victim as a perpetrator in a game of role reversal. They will use everyone you know against you. They will never fight fairly, but if you expose them with skill, persistence and moral fortitude, you will eventually win. Narcissists will collapse under pressure and act out their rage. So it's important to secretly record all interactions you have with them. All you need is 1 or 2 good examples of footage. But with psychopaths it's different. They won't go into a fit of rage and collapse under pressure. They will manipulate and lie to an even greater degree. They will cover their tracks very well. Psychopaths are often in positions of power that they can use against you. But understand, you are dealing with the heart of pure evil. It is your moral responsibility to stand up for good and fight evil, even when outnumbered and outgunned. Document everything, record everything, and do it secretly. The way to catch a psychopath is to get it on camera when they think they're safe. Behind closed doors, a psychopath will freely admit to what they are and engage in all kinds of evil openly. The weakness of a psychopath is in their overconfidence. They overestimate their range of power, and when under pressure they will push that power beyond its breaking point. We live in a world dominated by a minority of psychopaths. The battle against them is the battle for the future of mankind. Notice sides. Be sure that you are fighting for the right side, and don't become a puppet of evil. Arm yourself with the sword of truth. Train yourself in the art of debate. The sword will cut through all things, separating the true from the false, the good from the evil.